the frog, a common animal or amphibian that at first glance doesn't look too impressive.
But today's stealthy amphibian heroes prove that wrong. Tsuyu Asui of Class 1A.
And Greninja, the ninja Pokemon. I'm Demon.
And I'm Archer.
And it's our job to find out who would win when these two fictional characters collide.
The world of My Hero Academia is set in the future where superheroes are the norm.
These superpowers come in the form of quirks, which 80% of the modern population is born with.
These quirks come in many different forms. Some give physical boosts, some give supernatural abilities, and some quirks even permanently alter the body of whomever has it.
There's one quirk that literally just weaponizes diabetes, folks. Only in anime!
The one we'll be focusing on today is the one that turns its wielder into a human-frog hybrid, Tsuyu Asui, or as she's known by her hero name, the rainy season hero Froppy, but her friends just call her Tsu.
Tsuyu's quirk is known as Frog, which, as we already stated, permanently transforms her into a hybrid of a frog and a human.
With this, she gains the best of both worlds. Her frog side allows her to jump high, stick to walls, and extend her tongue, while her human side allows her to talk and not be small enough to crush you under your shoe.
She can also secrete a kind of toxic mucus to store items in her stomach to use later, and can even camouflage. So the one decent unique trait the Invisible Girl had is gone.
Tsuyu's abilities invalidate quite a few of her other classmates. Animal powers, invisibility, sticking to surfaces, she has many abilities similar to her classmates all in one.
This must mean Tsuyu has multiple quirks. Can she steal quirks? Is Tsuyu all for one? It all makes sense! Somebody call that patch!
Or, hear me out, you could actually get onto some of Tsuyu's feats and achievements and move the episode forward. Just a thought.
Fine. Tsuyu has taken on multiple grunt soldiers at once. Helped some of her classmates defeat 4 students from Class 1B, dodged several attacks from Big Octopus Guy, and passed the UA entrance exams, which required her to beat giant robots much bigger than herself.
But her most impressive showing of skill was during her final exams, where she and Tokoyami were able to take on and defeat 30 clones of the pro hero Ectoplasm. While literally everyone else in the class was analyzed and put up against a teacher that countered their specific quirks or took advantage of their weaknesses, Tsu was the only student in the class whom they couldn't find a weakness for.
Tsuyu doesn't have any weakness. Goku has weaknesses. Tsuyu beats Goku! Confirmed! That's how it works, right, Archer?
No, Tsu still has weaknesses, both shown and stated by herself. But we'll get back to that later. Also, that isn't how debates work.
You're just mad Goku loses to a 15-year-old frog girl.
Sure. Anyway, going back to the Ectoplasm fight, it's also a great demonstration of one of Tsu's other greatest strengths, her intellect.
Tsu is very observant and analytical. She was the first one to draw parallels to Deku and All Might's course, scored very well on her midterm, and of course she was the one who came up with a winning strategy for her and Tokoyami to beat Ectoplasm.
Tsu is a well-rounded student, good at many things, even to the point where her teachers can't find any shortcomings in her. But that doesn't mean she doesn't have any.
What are you talking about, Archer? Tsuyu has no weaknesses. She beats Goku! Just accept it!
Amazing. Every word of what you just said is wrong.
Damn it, Archer! Stop ignoring the facts!
She doesn't beat Goku, damn it!
Yes, she does! Tsuyu's maximum potential is limitless! She isn't meant to be relatable! She isn't meant to lose!
Now listen here, you little... We're just gonna pretend that never happened. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, Tsu's weaknesses.
I can put the memes aside for 2 seconds. Tsuyu isn't perfect. She's by no means the strongest character in the series.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Thank you, Demon.
See, the strongest in the verse is Mineta, who canonically beats Cypher.
Oh god damn it.
Tsu also doesn't handle well in extreme temperatures at all, hot or cold.
Yeah, extremely cold temperatures forces her into hibernation. And extreme heat can make frogs dry up. And Tsu herself has stated that being put in the fire room at the new SJ would have been a good way to beat her.
Yeah, Tsu tends to do better in situations where she's underwater or with a team, options that won't always be available to her. She's still in training and lacks a lot of experience in serious combat. She sat out most major fights in the series. She wasn't around for the fights with the guys like Alpha 1 or Stain, and when she was there for even the bigger fights like the USJ, the big bad guys are usually left to the other characters.
In the few serious fights she has gotten into, she doesn't have the greatest track record. Toga pinned her to a tree and Uraka had to save her. She fought a big octopus guy but only ended up dodging a few attacks before getting caught and having to be saved. And she got one shot in the sparring match with one guy who looks like Lucas from Mother 3.
And while she did come up with a strategy to beat Ectoplasm, that only worked because of the rules of the exam. Ectoplasm was still able to immobilize her with his biggest clone.
Still, Tsu has proven herself to be incredibly agile, strategic, and intelligent, and among the best class 1A has to offer.
Thanks, Floppy. Finally a normal one.
The world of Pokemon is a home to many amazing creatures, from electric mice to godly entities to sentient ice cream cones, a set of keys, a little pile of shit.
In this world, children are able to set off on their own adventures to catch, take, and battle with these monsters at the ripe old age of
18!
10.
What? Wait, say what? Jesus! And I thought My Hero Academia was bad for endangering kids.
But before these kids can go off enslaving literal deities, they typically are given a choice of starter Pokemon from the professor of their hometown.
The choice of starter Pokemon usually comes down to one question: fire, grass, or water. And in the Kalos region, you choose between the fiery fox Finnegan, the grass-type rodent Chespin, and one whose final evolution we'll be discussing about today. The water-type Froakie is here.
Froakie doesn't start off as much of a powerhouse. It evolves into Frogadier at level 16.
And if you can bring it up to a level 36, it evolves into the water dark type ninja Pokemon, Greninja.
Now there is one thing we need to make clear before we start the analysis for Greninja. We will be looking at feats from every Greninja, even trained ones, to get a gauge of how powerful this species can get. We are specifically using a wild Greninja for this battle.
That means level up moves only, no egg moves, tuner moves, TMs, HMs, hidden abilities, and while we're factoring feats for Ash's Greninja, as displayed throughout the anime, we'll only be looking at base Greninja, not Ash Greninja's form. That being said, while this does limit Greninja's moveset in battle, he still has plain attacks up his non-existent sleeves.
There's Night Slash, a dark-type move with an increased chance of landing a critical hit for extra damage, Haze, which nullifies all stat changes, Roleplay, which swaps Greninja's ability with its targets, and Mat Block, which blocks incoming attacks.
Greninja has several basic attacks like Pound, Bubble, Lick, which are all very self-explanatory. Quick Attack allows him to move at speed faster than the eye can see, Growl can lower the attack stats of his opponents, and Water Pulse has a chance to add additional confusion effect onto whoever it hits. And when opponents are confused, they have a chance of hitting themselves.
Because that's what people do when they're confused, apparently. Demon, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, but I'm confused about this whole confusion effect thing.
This is an ascended level of meta humor. I'm not sure I fully understand it.
So...
I'm not hitting myself for this joke. That wasn't even funny in the first place, Demon. Now let's continue with Greninja's moveset.
Fine. Shadow Sneak is a move that allows him to attack before his opponent gets the chance to. Feint Attack is a dark-type move that always hits, and Extra Sensory is a second-type move that makes the target flinch.
Greninja can send out a layer of spikes that damage any opponents who enter the battle after they are sent out. Smoke Screen creates a thick wall of smoke that makes it tougher for enemies to land any attacks. Double Team creates a wave of clones of the user that make it more difficult to find and hit the real one, and Substitute sacrifices a quarter of Greninja's HP in exchange for swapping him out with a substitute doll, which can take a decent amount of damage before fading away. And Greninja can still attack while the doll is there.
And we saved two of his best moves for last. There's the powerful Hydro Pump, which sends out a powerful blast of water to deal major damage. It is one of the strongest water-type moves and has the highest base power out of all the moves Greninja can naturally learn. Its only one drawback is that the accuracy of the move isn't the best. It can miss at times.
And then there's Greninja's signature move, Water Shuriken. This move allows Greninja to attack before his opponent and can hit 2 to 5 times in a single use. It's even been shown that Greninja can charge up this move in order to gain a little bit of extra firepower, or should I say water power.
On the top of this, Pokemon have this thing called Type Attack Bonus, which grants them at least 1.5 times boost power of any attack they use if they share the same type. Greninja is Water and Dark type, which means all his Water moves and Dark moves gives an extra boost in power. Couple that with a move as strong as Hydro Pump or with as high critical a chance as Night Slash, on top of Greninja's already really good attacking stats, and you got a really heavy hitter who can do tons of damage.
Greninja is definitely a huge threat on the battlefield, showing great levels of power and speed. His Pokédex entry says that he can cut through metal with his water attacks, and he can use Quick Attack, a move which has been shown to allow the user to move at speeds faster than the eye can see, which would require speeds of roughly over 9,000 miles per hour.
Greninja has taken on many powerful Pokemon even when at type disadvantages. Some of these Pokemon include Abomasnow, Altaria, Sceptile, Avalok, Scizor, Luxray, Bisharp, and even Alan's Charizard. And that's the name of a train right there, Alan.
He's even survived attacks from Mega Charizard before.
Hold up, I thought you said you weren't using the Ash Greninja form.
We're not. Greninja was able to hold out against Alan's Mega Charizard X in his base form. He even survived a Thunder Punch, a move which he's at a type disadvantage against.
And that's a perfect segue into Greninja's weaknesses. Like any other Pokemon, Greninja's types allows him to resist certain types of attacks, but makes him weaker against others.
Greninja's Water Dark typing makes him weak to Electric, Grass, Bug, Fairy, and Fighting type attacks.
Being punched really hard is apparently an only weakness to certain types of Pokemon. Hey Archer, get over here, I want to punch you to see if it's super effective.
Wait, no! Stop! Ah! Why me?
It was super effective! Remember kids, if you're afraid of dark types, just hit it like I did to Archer, like really hard. If you're still afraid, you're not trying hard enough. Hey Archer, was I trying hard enough?
It was plenty hard enough. Plenty hard enough.
Okay.
Also, since we're using a wild Greninja, he lacks any kind of formal training, and it limits his moveset. And he's suffered plenty of losses in the past, especially against Charizard.
Yeah, while Greninja has done a good job facing up against Charizard, he lost against Mega Charizard every time they fought, even with Ash's Greninja form.
Still, Greninja is a very powerful Pokemon, and it takes a lot to put him down.
He's so badass that Sakurai added him into Smash before his design was even revealed to the public.
I don't think that means anything for his stats, Demon.
Shut up, it does. Okay, the combatants are set. It's time to settle this.
It's time for these two fictional characters to collide. Well, there goes the best girl.
The best girl is all for one Archer. I will not accept this propaganda.
You so fucking precious when you smile.
Right. Well, before we derail the episode with that, let's actually discuss why Greninja wins.
Alright, let's start off with who was more powerful. Tsuyu should roughly be around building level. She needs to be in order to beat the robots in the UA entrance exam, which she would need to do in order to pass. And while it's not as impressive as fighting on par with Ectoplasm himself, she was still able to keep up with and destroy many of his clones, and she was able to fight against giant monsters that could destroy apartment complexes.
Greninja, on the other hand, is able to keep up with Elaine's Charizard. Charizard's Pokédex entries even states that it can quickly melt glaciers weighing up to 10,000 tons.
The same Charizard was also able to beat Pikachu despite being at a time disadvantage. This is the same Pikachu who takes on Mega Pokemon like Mega Lucario and even legendary Pokemon like Regice and Latios.
And during that same battle during the Kalos League, Pikachu was able to beat Elaine's Tyranitar, even while Tyranitars are capable of leveling entire mountains when making nests or even when they're just upset. Charizard was able to tank a super effective Thunderbolt from this same Pikachu, and Greninja was still able to keep up and deal damage to him. Greninja is also able to keep up with Abomasnow, who can easily create blizzards. Also, I don't think I need to explain why surviving Mega Charizard X's Thunder Punch gives Greninja the durability edge.
As for speed, Greninja took it in terms of both travel and combat speed. Starting with travel speed, Tsuyu completed a 15-meter dash in 5.58 seconds. putting her travel speed at roughly around 8.9 meters per second. Nothing exactly groundbreaking. Greninja, on the other hand, has moved faster than the human eye can see many times, which pushes its travel speed to 9,000 miles per hour. And he has a quick attack and Shadow Sneak, which can let him move even faster.
But travel speed in a versus debate is almost completely irrelevant. What really matters is combat speed.
Tsuyu is shown to be incredibly fast and agile, but lacks any measurable combat speed feats. That shows her absolute upper limits. So the best you can do is scale her to Deku. Remember him, folks? They haven't fought before, but we will scale her anyway, just to be nice.
Deku's best showing of speed was when he blocked one of Bakugo's explosions at close range. Bakugo's explosions are created when he detonates his nitroglycerin like sweat, so his explosions should be comparable to actual nitroglycerin explosions, which can reach speeds of Mach 30. This is a very, very generous highball for Tsuyu, but we will be giving it to her anyway. It still pales in comparison to Greninja's speeds.
Remember how Greninja can fight on par with base Charizard who beats Ash's Pikachu? Well, just catching the little rodent is impressive since he has no problems fighting those who can dodge his lightning attacks.
Reacting to speeds like that should easily put Pikachu, and therefore Charizard, who Greninja can scale to, at speeds up to 220,000 miles per hour, or roughly 287 times the speed of sound, over 9.5 times faster than Tsu.
We could even wank those lightning beams to being the return stroke of the lightning bolt, which would increase Greninja's speed edge over 500 times. But we don't need to do that since Greninja took the edge anyway.
Some other students who Tsu could scale to do have feats such as reacting to electricity and light-speed naval lasers. Not only could these be dismissed as massive outliers, but they wouldn't be result-changing.
And if you do that to Tsu as a very, and I mean very generous highball, it wouldn't be enough. She might be thousands of times faster, but Greninja is still millions times stronger.
Yeah, the difference in power between a building level character and a mountain level character is ridiculous.
And that speed edge will only come from using the feats that seem like heavy outliers. Greninja is way faster otherwise.
On top of this massive physical edge Greninja had, he had plenty of more tricks he could throw Tsu's way, rather than vice versa. Tsu had her tongue and her camouflage that could keep Greninja at a distance, and maybe get in a few sneak attacks, but none of that was anything Greninja couldn't handle himself.
Yeah, Greninja projectile like the water, shurikens, and hydro pump should be more than able to outrange Tsuyu's 20-meter long tongue. And he had many more ways to make himself harder to hit than Tsuyu did with his smoke screen and double team.
And even factoring in Tsu's camouflage, Greninja can still use Feint Attack, which is a move that never misses, rendering Tsu's camouflage ability useless.
You mean like how Tsu's abilities do that to about a quarter of her classmates? Oh, the irony!
So, with all the strength, speed, and durability and versatility stacked against her, it was only a matter of time before the little frog girl croaked.
Hey, making bad puns is my job here, Archer. One more slip up like that, and you're going in the torture machine.
It can't be worse than this recording session.
Oh, come on, Archer. Isn't that bad?
This is literally hell.
I think you're over-exaggerated.
No, I mean, we are actually physically in hell right now.
Oh, yeah. Don't know how I forgot about that.
Right. Anyway, the winner is Greninja.
Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.
According to my watch, it's 11:59. My watch is 1 minute slow. Hey, hello, stranger. You're a lone nature. You're a lone ranger. What a tone changer. No neighbors so far away from your home range. Women up and pain so dangerous. You're playing Russian roulette with a bullet in an unknown chamber. So make use of the brain got gauger, or it'll be blown away. Payback. Look, please keep the 680 head on show. Put a bullet to the head like a head to a poncho. It's high noon. Better ride soon. There's no time to rest. Head to the horizon and roll through the wild west. Distinguished by his particular apparel, in which he dispatches batches of fishes and barrels. Back in the saddle and addled with bourbon trouble is certain, disturbing your suburban world of bubble is bursting. The tug at the curtains and the whole thing comes tumbling back down to earth. Quick of a sip of the whiskey because I'm on my third cup and feeling perky. Strode up to the bar, smoking a cigar, BAMF up notes on the guitar, focus, dead eyes, spaghetti western Jedi with the same robot cigar. McCree's at the top, the cream of the crop. You're dreaming if you believe he's gonna stop breathing and clean up. Do we even need reaper? Aiming the heat, the keen as a heat seeker, keeping the peace with the peace of peacekeeper. The key piece of the team defeats leaks to people seeking to beat elite leaders. Reckon they'll achieve it? Me neither. Frequently repeating the scene 24/7. You're seeing scenes of the kefir. Ed2 Brutus, clean disease. Yeah, read them and weep like a John Green feature. Read them and weep like a John Green feature novel. No other rapper would say that. McCree's peacekeeper, 680 head honcho. Put a bullet to the head like a head to a poncho. It's high noon. Better